the disappearance of the whole city in one night that happened in China. In a strange world of extinctions and people who have apparently ceased to exist, there is the phenomenon of mass extinction, such as some people who simply disappeared for no apparent reason. The thought that an entire population can disappear without a trace is truly frightening, which in turn raises all sorts of speculations about what could happen. And this, I remember now as I'm commenting on this, this happened to one village in Alaska, but a couple of hundred years ago. But now this is concerning China. But anyone who thinks it's very difficult for a city to disappear should be aware that there have been well-documented cases throughout our human history, such as the Roanoke colony on Roanoke Island in Dare County in North Carolina, also the Anji Kuni, the missing Eskimos in Canada, and even the picnic in Hanging Rock in Australia, where a group of boarding school students went missing. So then we'll see a very strange story that happened a while ago, has to do with a city in a remote part of China, which is supposed to have disappeared overnight. So this disappearance of the whole city in one night in China, located in an area of central China. It is Shanxi province, Shaanxi province. It covers about 205,800 square kilometers and includes the enchanting Wei Valley, the Loess Plateau, the Mu'us Desert, and the Qin Mountains. It's a place where there was a rural town like any other, without anything special or exceptional, except its proximity to a rocket launcher. But in 2010, there was a great deal of concern on Chinese social media when the story of how this small town completely disappeared from the face of the earth became known. Okay, this became known in 2010, so it's pretty recent. According to history, all the inhabitants disappeared overnight. This happened in 1987. Not only the 10,000 people, but also the cats, dogs, and even the cattle disappeared. Obviously, there was no evidence of what happened, and all the houses seem to have been emptied in a hurry, with meals prepared at tables and other abandoned items. But that was only the beginning, as reports began to emerge that in the days before the disappearance, there were numerous UFO sightings in the area. In one case, some neighbors reportedly saw an 8-light formation in the sky just above their city for about half an hour, causing the clouds to turn black before emitting a bright purple glow and a loud explosion. They also said the area was filled with snakes shortly before the city disappeared for unknown reasons. The case of the disappearance remained unknown for the next 23 years until it gradually began to surface. According to the New Tang Dynasty television, the residents were, quote-unquote, transported in the middle of the night as part of an operation linked to a secret project, possibly of military nature, although there is supposed to be a nuclear base buried deep in the mountains. It's alleged that a large number of troops were sent in the area, and all the families were evacuated overnight, including humans and even the animals. The mysterious operation was codenamed Operation Night Cat. Some witnesses even claimed that they saw people boarding military trucks, and in addition, in the days following the disappearance of the city, numerous military vehicles, tanks, and even rocket launchers appeared in the area, some said to cover a UFO disaster. Of course, the Chinese government completely denied any involvement in the mysterious disappearance of all these people. Since these stories have their origins in social media, along with Chinese internet censorship, one might think that it's just a bourgeois myth fueled by the total inability to confirm the stories. However, we must also remember the way in which some disasters concealed by the Chinese government took place, such as the famous disaster of March 3rd, 1996 in Xichang. Details of the worst rocket crash in history are known only because many foreign experts have witnessed it there. As reported in Air and Space, Smithsonian Magazine, in 2013, the city near the launch site disappeared as if it never existed. There is currently no memorial to the missing, and their story has never been reported in the state-controlled Chinese press. But it must be said that the case of the Shanxi people is completely different from other similar mass disappearances, mainly due to the strange lights in the sky, the appearance of many UFOs and hundreds of snakes that flooded the area and acted as if they wanted to protect themselves from a seemingly invisible danger. In the end, we end up with more questions than answers. Did the city really disappear without a trace overnight? And if so, why? Was the evacuation from the army for unknown reasons? Was this related to UFOs that supposedly had been sighted? Is it just a conspiracy, an urban internet legend, or is there something more? According to some reports, the city is still uninhabited, without anyone knowing what happened to the residents, who have never been found since. So what can be the truth? I've translated this for you from a Greek article. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.